Namaskar traders, a very good evening. We are on the 10th of November, Thursday evening, almost 9 p.m. We'll take a look at the Nifty Bank Nifty, and I'll also talk about two stocks which really stood out in today's trade. If there was some kind of an award ceremony for every day's trade or trading, then I would love to give these two stocks the best performer in a leading role and a best performer in a supporting role. But that's a little later. Let's first talk about the Nifty. Now, as always, I am looking at a weekly, daily and a 75-minute triple screen here. And we do notice that the Nifty gapped down today. Now, this gap down from the Nifty to a lot of extent should be attributed to two main stocks, which is Tata Motors and AXISBank. Now, both the stocks are important. They come within the top 10 stocks in terms of weightages. So you can see AXISBank gapping down in today's trade. And Tata Motors, thanks to its numbers, also gapped down quite significantly and was down almost 5% at 412 today. So these two fierce gap downs weighed on the behavior of the Nifty at the very beginning, and we can add Reliance to some extent for today's weakness. But there were many other stocks like Bajaj Finance also fell quite sharp, but most of the damage was done by these three stocks. The rest of the market was okay with stock specific kind of movements. We did see a bit of buying momentum coming in large cap IT stocks later towards noon, and then towards the afternoon we clearly saw a movement coming in from the private sector banks. So there was movement, there was a bit of buying momentum also. If we take a look at the 75-minute time frame, post the gap down, it kind of took a breather, but then broke further down, and then towards the afternoon bounced back. It could have been worse, but at 18,092 it was down 124 points. Now, before I talk about any levels like immediate support and resistance and all that, I think it makes sense that we take a look at the global markets because lots happening. Number one, SGX is up almost 300 points. We're almost knocking 18,400. US markets up 4 to 5%. S&P is up 4%. Nasdaq is up 5.5%. Dow Jones 2.5%. Inflation numbers have started to take a breather there, and it's kind of little slowdown, which has led enough excitement for the markets there. So if we take a look at the S&P, big gap up and follow through movement. Nasdaq also a huge gap up with follow through buying. Shorts are getting squeezed there. High chance if we see 18,400 in the opening tomorrow morning, then a lot of call writers and a lot of shorts are going to get heavily squeezed. If you are a mentorship trader community member and you're listening to me now, this is exactly the reason why for the last 2 to 3 live classes of ours, when we meet and we interact about the market, I have been requesting that not to go short in this particular market overnight, because it's a strong market, it's a resilient market, and the bounce backs will be sharp. So this is particularly the reason why I was, constantly requesting, do not create unhedged short positions unless you've figured out a strong, weak sector and a strong, weak counter. So now let's go back to the Nifty, should we? Now, Nifty psychological 18K mark, of course, is the but obvious level. Last time we bounced back from there, this time also 18,030. So 18,000 is the obvious support. Now tomorrow, if we open somewhere here, the support actually becomes quite irrelevant. It's quite far off. And on the upside, of course, it's around 18,400 from where it slipped. So If we see a move above 18,400 tomorrow morning, important will be that it closes above 18,400 tomorrow afternoon for the week. That will be a good close. My sense is we may not close above 18,400. I don't want to predict, but let's see what's in store. Bank Nifty also fared really well. As I told you that towards the afternoon, this 2 bars actually made quite a difference to the performance of the Nifty. And so this leads me to share my thoughts about 2 stocks which I feel should get awarded today evening for the best performance in a leading role and the best performance in a supporting role. Any guesses? Well, HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank, I would say, was phenomenal today. Phenomenal will be a small word, because this is how it opened. In fact, if I show you the HDFC Bank's futures chart, it'll actually look much prettier. This is how it opened today morning. This is the first 15-minute bar. And this is one of those very, very few stocks within the Nifty heavyweights which actually did not break the day's low. It stayed within that 15-minute bar range. It bounced back with a bit of momentum, came close to a short-term resistances which was aligned to its previous swing high, gave a short-term correction here, and then took off like crazy. And throughout, after just the opening, this was one stock which throughout the day's trade provided pretty good support to the index, to the Bank Nifty as well. At a close of 1530, it broke above its swing high on an intraday basis. And if all goes well, then we should be eyeing a move above 1540 tomorrow morning. So really an important role played by the stock today. Then who gets the award for the best performance in the supporting role? I would give it to Kotak Bank, because Kotak Bank in the morning hours, let's see how it opened and how did it behave, right? So 10th of November, the opening bar, if you notice, is this one. Kotak Bank's opening bar is actually a positive one. So in the very beginning of the day's trade, it actually showed that I'm interested and there's a bit of buying, and it moved up. Disclosure over here, I have a open recommendation on Kotak Bank, and after that it kind of sold off quite sharp. This sell-off was a little bit surprising for me, because I thought that it will not correct more than 50% of the previous move, but it did. It did, and it bottomed out here, and then it picked up phenomenal momentum to close not at 1921. This was a 330 close at 1918.55, which is close to its previous swing highs. It's all set for a nice breakout. If everything goes well, a retest of 1960 towards 1980 should not be a problem for Kotak Bank going forward. ICICI Bank could have done better. It did try to pick up towards the end, but it was not much at all. As you can see, it's completely stuck in a short-term range. Hopefully, we'll get a breakout move tomorrow morning. So if ICICI Bank, Kotak Bank just picks up from what HDFC Bank did today, then private sector banks can definitely support the overall market to take out 18,400 and hopefully to sustain above 18,400. Tomorrow's Friday, end of the week, so I would suggest not to carry a heavy over the weekend position. And if you've been going long over the last couple of weeks, then use these kind of strong, high momentum gap ups to protect your profits and maybe to book partial or full. It's not a bad idea to book profits, isn't it? Right? Okay, so till then, we'll see how the market closes tomorrow afternoon. Take care of yourselves, trade well and trade wise.